Welcome to Mind Your Business, the channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip.
Hey my nosy people, wagwan. Hope everyone is blessed. So I'm back to talk about Porsha's family matters. So yeah, we left off with Lauren trying to get the table under some sort of control. It still goes crazy. You've got the spiritual woman, the counsellor. She's just trying to interject to calm it down. Aunt Liz is cracking me up, talking about, she's lost out in black people land and she's in danger. The other aunt, Darlene, really? You get up and you're making this sort of heartfelt speech and it's about your beautiful feet. I'm like, what? What is really going on out here? Seriously? Yeah, because your family teased you about hog feet. You still what you're getting emotional about. And then your second point was your daughter. I think you had that in reverse. Maybe you should have made the point about your daughter first. And then you could then talk about your feet. Even though people at dinner table, I'm sure they don't want to hear about your feet. Even poor Dennis looking down at your feet thinking, what's going on with these feet? Like, what in the world is happening with this show? It's really quite crazy. It's just, to me, it's just hilarious to watch at the moment. The car crash. And I'm like, Porsha, I don't think it's helping you at all. At all. And with the aunt talking about the feet, I mean, she's going into detail about the toenails and how she's standing up crying and talking about the feet. I'm like, no, Porsha, you might want to talk to your auntie. That you might want to have a chat with her. And then the other aunt Liz, I just like the way she came out and said, I don't know none of these people. We're not family. I'm like, okay. Aunt Liz, just say what it is. She's fed up with all the foolishness. It's just a lot of mess. And she even said to Dom, yeah, I don't know you. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, well, who organised this trip? Wouldn't you let it be known who is who? If we're referring to everyone as family. I think Dennis's point about the family is broken is quite on point. Yeah, it's quite on point. And I think without Dennis and Aunt Liz, I think they make it like they add to the show. Like, I think it'd be a bit dry without them. I can definitely see why Porsha's mum decided not to come on the trip, yeah? She's talking about she weren't feeling well. I just think maybe she knew that this is going to be full of drama. Who wants to deal with all this madness? She's probably at home, relaxing, enjoying the peace and quiet, actually. So when Storm had the stick now, because obviously they're using the stick to go around as part of the kind of bringing everyone together. They can, say something, come around the table. Her mum, Darlene, chose to speak about her beautiful feet. And then, her daughter basically took the stick. Didn't really say much apart from she's got some issues with people around the table. And then, of course, Dennis then interjects and says, well, she can just go and hug her mum. Their mum just kind of opened her heart. Then them two start arguing because they've got their own little beefing situation going on. But yeah, hot mess. And then when Dennis takes the stick, he's talking into the stick like it's a microphone, which cracked me up. So Dennis is saying his bit about, trying to co-parent. He's just there because he wants to co-parent with Simon. And, it's all about, concentrating on sorting out what they've got to do. He then goes to say about people need to be accountable and looks at Storm and kind of calls her out just before that. She flies off the handle, starts cussing at the table. He's telling her she's fake. He ain't spoken to her for 3 years because she's fake. And it just goes left from there. He decides that he's leaving and he storms out of the dinner after cursing. Aunt Liz's face is just exactly what I was thinking. It's just got me saying, oh, Waddy. So the family have got their own little issues. So like Londi and Storm, they've got their own little issue. You hear Londi telling Lauren and the assistant Lauren about, her issue with Storm and talking to the camera that she never says hello to anybody and that she should have been the one to tell her to shut the F up instead of Dennis. And of course, Porsha's sister Lauren is saying that Dennis shouldn't have been speaking to her like that in the first place. And I agree. I thought that was quite out of line for him to do that. Makes you also think, well, how was he getting on with Porsha? Because this is just something that you flipped off at the table in front of everyone. Also, couldn't you conduct yourself a bit better? Like, you're in front of family. So no one's perfect. But yeah, I just didn't like the way he kind of flipped out like that. Observing the talk with the conversation with Porsha and Uncle Simon, as I should call him. Yeah, with Uncle Simon, I feel like he's just he's an interesting character. He seems quite level-headed to some degree, but also quite calculated, as Dennis pointed out. I always thought it was funny when he said you should take Dennis's stuff and give it back to him. The man said he has one request, right, Porsha? One request me have. Pack up Dennis's things and make sure it get back to him. All right? Which was cracking me up. That's the one time I see Uncle Simon stood up and have something to say properly, because so far, like I said, he's been very kind of sitting back, observing, calculating. But yes, obviously he's definitely not feeling the fact that she's up on big TV arguing about clothes, which is right and embarrassing him, really. But when it comes to him, we're not seeing his authentic self yet. I feel like he's sitting back, he's observing, he's very calculated. His conversation with Dennis, where he spoke about he's had quite a few experiences in his past relationships, and so he knows how to pack up a woman basically and make sure all her things are gone. And then Dennis is chatting about Porsha should pay attention. Yes, I think she should, because like he said, it sounds like he's got removal people on tap to dash her out when he's ready, because I'm sure Fallon can attest to that. And did she just say she confiscated the robe? Confiscated. All right, Porsha. I thought that it was good that Dennis and Uncle Simon had their little breakfast and spoke about the issues. Well, Dennis made sure that, he got the point across, which was he feels like his mum does overstep the mark. And I feel like Uncle Simon managed that conversation well. He didn't come out of left field with any kind of attitude. He didn't speak to him in the way that he was kind of getting his point across to Porsha, because otherwise I believe it would have went left. But I think it was good that they had that kind of breakfast to kind of clear the air. Well, that must be hella awkward for Dennis. It's all happened so fast. So it must be kind of very much a head spin. I like the idea that Lauren had of having the meditation in the morning. Obviously, not everyone turned up. But I like that it was about trying to let go and dealing with sort of the family issues. I thought the idea of it was really nice. I also thought it was good that Dennis said that it'd be good if they brought Mama Gina and mentioned the fact that, she's so attached to the family that she's finding it hard, which is also probably why she's acting out so much. It's quite an emotional journey to be on, to see that your son was engaged, they've got a child, and then 3 months later she's got this new man, Uncle Simon, in the building talking about this is her new fiance. So I can only imagine that's quite a lot, and Mama Gina does seem like she's quite a lot anyway, but I thought that was quite interesting perspective to put in there, that Dennis kind of highlighted there. And can we talk about this little trip they took to the Sonata or whatever it was called? And this Aunt Darlene, what is her problem? You're asking for a hug from your daughter. She's getting up. Why? Tell me why are you screaming like a crazy banshee? This doesn't make no sense to me at all. And your daughter comes over to hug you, but you're too busy screaming in her face to the point where she says, you know what, let's go back and sit down. Problematic. Was that a bit of drama? Did you want your moment, or was that real? Because if that was real, then you just might need to go and a few more meditations and maybe some counselling and kind of deal with that, because that's not right. That's really not right. Lord have mercy. Aunt Liz's release and let go was really emotional, quite moving, and it was good to see something a bit more kind of genuine and it didn't seem so orchestrated and dramatic. I was quite surprised to see Mama Gina get emotional as well with her release and let go, and then Porsha came straight back with, well, she ain't quite ready to move forward. And I'm like, Porsha is supposed to be about letting go, but yeah, you've got to take time to let it go. Also, I thought Lauren's release was interesting, because she obviously said about the fact that she didn't really enjoy working for Porsha, and the fact that she felt like Porsha took advantage of her. But Porsha didn't acknowledge that. Instead, she took that as a personal shot at her. Rather than her overstanding and looking back and thinking, you know what, this is Lauren's feelings, let me acknowledge it, let me understand where she's coming from. Instead, it turned into like, oh, well, like she turned herself into a victim, which I didn't like. So in the last episode, there was this whole highlight about Dennis bringing a woman along on this holiday. And yes, so he switches rooms and he's brought along one of his ladies. So for the dinner scene at the end, Dennis isn't there. He's clearly missing. The seat is empty. And so Lauren pulls Porsha to the side for a quick chat, just to let her know that basically, Dennis has got a date there. Porsha is not looking too happy about it, says it's a bit weird, and she looks like she's kind of uncomfortable. She goes back to the table. She kind of tries to brush it off. Then she goes back to the table, and the first thing she does is to pick up her phone and start texting Mama Gina across the table, say, oh, Dennis is here with a woman. Of course, Mama Gina knows this anyway. So I don't know why she wanted to do that. But my point being was like, why are you so bothered? Like, you're sitting next to your fiance, your new fiance. Uncle Simon is sitting next to you, yeah? And you're too busy wondering about where your ex-fiance is. Like, girl, why are you doing this show? Why? It's just not looking good for you. It's just showing you that you still love your ex, and you're going to have this documented forever, ever. Another clear sign that you are not over the man. You're on your family holiday with your fiance, but yet you're still vexed that he's brought along this woman. Why can he not have a woman? Why can't he move on, but you can move on and have your fiance there? So either your fiance is there just to look good and be a prop for you, or you're in this seriously. Because me, you're not. And I don't understand how Simon cannot see that. Come on, Uncle Simon, out. You must can see that you're Mr. Rebound at the moment. You know, you've got some of a level head. So to me, if that's the case, you're being strategic. Because why else would you sit there wanting to be kind of a second fiddle? Makes no sense. And the fact that you've got Porsha talking to the camera, and the producer asks Porsha, you know, if Dennis brought the girl along, how would you feel? Would you be okay with that? And she's like, well, I'm not ready for that. No, I'm not that mature yet. But yeah, you expect Dennis to be the mature guy and be there with you and your fiance. It's just all quite, mind-boggling, my dears. Mind-boggling. Now, also at dinner, we had Storm talking about her past relationship where she felt like it was abusive, and she didn't talk about the snow tape, but she wanted to kind of share it with him then. And then Londi interjects and brings up the night before where, you know, they got into a bit of an argument, and Storm stood up and was asking her what she's going to do. Now, to me, whilst Londi has a point to make, that was not the time to do it. And the interjection was not timely at all, because it didn't even validate. She didn't even kind of give her a chance to validate her comment or to say, you know what, sorry to hear that, and kind of acknowledge what she was actually sharing in that moment. And then whilst, you know, she has a point to make and she wants to get that off her chest. But yeah, I thought that was really bad timing for Londi. I don't understand why you'd want to bring that up at that particular point in time. I just feel like she's just really pissed off with Stallman and really can't really take the girl. And so she couldn't contain herself. As for the poor spiritual woman, I don't know if she'll be going on a retreat with him ever again. She looks like she's probably happy to get away from it, because it's been nothing but drama. And she's a meditation lady. She wants peace and, you know, tranquility in her life, and she's come on this trip. It's been nothing but drama. I'm sure she can't wait to hand over the baton to the one coming in. Now, the highlight for next week looks good. You've got Lauren and Porsha look like they're going to get into it. Lauren's actually, you know, telling Porsha she's not fixed and she needs to sort herself out. And what in the world is going to end? Some big piece of mix-up is going on. Looks like there's some kind of fight or scuffle, Satmaguan. And I'll be watching, and I will be tuned in and coming back with commentary, of course. So, what do you think of the episode? Do you like it? Do you think it's also a car crash at the moment of Porsha just looking pretty messy, and she just looks like she still loves off her ex, and why is she doing this? Do you also think that maybe Simon is up to something? Like, he comes across like he's very strategic to me, and in the way that he kind of conducts himself. You know, is he just using Porsha for a bit of a come up and a bit of exposure? What do you guys think? Or do you think it's genuine? What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts below.
Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.